Welcome everyone to another House of Chaos Warcry. So today we are doing Catacombs, mainly because the board looks flipping ace. So anything with fire always looks wicked in my personal opinion. Yes, I like playing Chaos. And I like the gates and things like that. All the gates look epic. So you have in the closed function, open, we've got a spare one next to it there, laying down because you can flick switches to open and close them. Now, with Catacombs, anything that looks like a wooden bridge, if you're on top of it, roll a d6 and you get a 1, you fall into the lava and you're instantly killed. And on the steel bridges, or steel brass, whatever it is, if you're on top of it and you do roll a 1 on a d6, is then weakened, which takes it to the same stats as the wooden bridges. So then the next person walks across, if they roll a 1, they fall in. So basically, unless you roll a 1 twice, you're not likely to fall in. Okay, so for my 1,000 points, or just shy, it's 980. I'm using Slaves to Darkness today. So I've got 2 regular warriors over here, and they are my hammer. My shield is a Chosen, which is slightly converted because my dog got hold of KS Warrior and chewed it up. I got 2 Marauders with shields, 2 Marauders with shields, and a regular Warrior with a shield as well. I do like them with the shields. They do hit fairly hard, but they don't have so many attacks. So that is my hammer, my shield. I generally put my leader in my shield, so if I don't say in future, that's what it is. And then over here is my dagger.
The Khainite Shadowstalkers, it was actually a force that was in the Catacombs box. I split mine up into the dagger, the shield and the hammer. I always tend to think in the hammer, it's coming on a bit late sometimes as a reserve and things, so I'll just put a little bit in that, but always has to be at least a third into the shield. I've got some ranged things, I've got a bit of magic, quite fragile, but they can be quite fierce on their attacks.
Lots of models though, so relatively good points. And right, we've rolled for the missions, and it turns out that the hammers don't come on this game at all. So these 2 models are not coming on, so that's about 180 points. And if you remember what I had in my hammer, it was 2 Chaos Warriors with shields, which is the equivalent of 340 points will not be coming onto the table. So that's basically Phil's force, and I have a Chaos Warrior, Chosen, and 4 Marauders. And this particular mission, we had to drop some treasure down. So this is Phil's on the table, so he's managed to place the treasure there. And I've put my treasure just on the other side of the steel bridge, and 1 has to be in the middle of the table. So the idea of this game is, it's whoever's got the most treasure at the end of turn 5. Now, the nasty thing is, at the end of your activation, if a model is carrying the treasure, it will take damage. So we're probably going to have to secure the treasure and not pick it up until close to turn 5, which makes it a bit interesting. And the twist was, I believe we cannot target anything out.
No visibility beyond 6 inches.
So Phil does have a little bit of shooting, a couple of range attacks. So you've got a bit of magic there, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. She's only 1 inch shy. That's fine.
The crossbow archer.
And the crossbow archer, which is just such a cool model, is 8. So, my Phil's lovely painted army. I just touch his models. Shouldn't do that really. Someone else's models, don't touch them. But yeah, they are really, really cool. Love the paint scheme. My Chaos guys, obviously being generic Slaves of Darkness, do not have any ranged attacks. So this should be interesting. So with Catacombs, Phil's put down a couple of notes just in case we'll forget, because we probably will. If you're within 1 inch of this lovely piece of terrain, you can see on the other side it's got broken shields and weapons and stuff. we do get one additional attack, which is pretty cool. And over here, which we put another little note down because we will forget, we are terrible, memory like sieves. If you're within 1 inch of the caskets, you'll be taking wounds as well. So there's a bit of like a spiritual mortal wounds thing going on over there. So we just wanted to try Catacombs out. Phil's bought the box set and it just looks ace. The terrain's wicked. You know, the board is ace. And it'd be fantastic for Dungeons and Dragons, especially with these doors and like this gateway and stuff as well. So, right, let's see how it goes. Okay, so I had a priority, and this is the deployment. So I have this side of the table, and then Phil's side of the table. So we are mirrored. And remember, we do not have our hammers at all in this game, which is a big, big deal. So with my priority, I use my wild dice to make a double. I have a triple. And I have 2 singles. Phil got 2 triples. And with his wild dice, he's made a quad. So I definitely have initiative. It doesn't really matter the first turn anyway, but we'll come back after the first turn's movement. Okay, so the end of turn 1, we decided to do turn 1 pretty fast on camera because there's no combat ever going to happen. So 1 bridge, remember I said you have to roll a 1 to see if it gets weakened, which is the same as the wooden bridges. I rolled a 1, so it is weakened, so anybody that's on it that rolls a 1 again will fall in and die. And guess what? Same happened on this side, on Phil's side. So when Phil said it's not likely to happen, he jinxed it. And over here, we've had some models move up to get in position, ready to open the gates next. Because remember, you can't go for any of the black walls. So the black walls are on a few points on the map, like there, in the corners, a few places. I understand why they didn't supply with enough terrain in this kit to go all the way along these walls and things like that, because that would be a lot. So they want to keep the cost down, I guess. But I still think it's a beautiful table, and I'll probably say that every round. So, we probably shouldn't have both spent our wild dice for this round, but hey-ho. Okay, so it's turn 2. Okay, so the dice for turn 2. I had 4 singles, and I spent my wild dice to make a double. So I have 2 doubles. Phil has spent his wild dice out. Nice wrist clicking action for an old man over here. Has made a triple, so he had 2 doubles and 2 singles. So I do have the priority. It is my turn first. So now I know his leader is pretty nippy, so I might not want to just go rushing in just yet. So we'll come back after a few movements until we get to the glorious combat. Okay, activation so far. This guy over here has smashed through a door using a double. So in this particular Catacombs box, you can use a double to smash through doors that don't actually have levers, which means you can't close it behind you, and he's just moved there. And Phil's gone all out aggressive and moved
Shroud Queen
over here to try to do a ranged attack against my poor, lonely marauder. Go for it, roll high, Biggie.
It's 3 attacks.
Okay.
Strength 4.
I am amazing, toughness 4.
So 4s.
Because I have a shield. Ooh.
That is 3. That is 2 damage each. That's 6 damage.
Ouch! So I have 4 wounds left on that guy, so I will put the wounds on there as appropriate. But she has finished her activation.
Yeah, she's now finished.
Okay, so next activation, I moved a guy off the bridge, because if the bridge does get activated, I don't want to kill 2 guys instantly. So I had to use Rush, which is a universal ability. I used my double for that, which is a shame because it was a double 6 I was left with, which would have been nice if I used the double here, imbued with dark power, giving a bit more strength. But I've only got 2 attacks anyway. I'm not expecting a lot, but you know, I'm going to try to bait Phil out. Right, so only 2 attacks. I am a massive strength 3. And you are toughness
4.
Okay, so 5's needed. Oh, there is one there. So big old 1 damage, Phil. Yeah, that's right.
It's the start.
It's a start. So that model is completely activated now. So yeah, going back to
Let's try this on the card.
terrain. Look at the terrain. That's very hero quest. Right, okay. But as suspected, I have baited Phil out. It's moved over here, and she is going to use her whip. And Phil is even using a double.
Using a double for onslaught. It's got 3 attacks plus another.
Okay, so I'm amazing toughness 4.
I'm strength 4.
Ooh, looking for 4s, people. So if it's the same as, we're looking for 4s. Oh, 2 crits.
4, that's 8 damage.
What?
2 and 4.
Wow, he's rolling big, people. Bridge was weakened. Remember Phil said you won't lose any models with these because you've got to roll a 1 and roll a 1 again. Both bridges were weakened in the first turn. So I've just rolled a 1. So remember I already lost 340 points before the game begun. Now I've lost another 250 because the bridge is now gone. So I am left with these 2 guys, nobodies, that one and that one, and the only one that can actually pack any punch is him over there. So very interesting game so far. Before really much combat's gone on, I have lost a grand total of 690 points out of 1,000. Well, actually, out of 980 because I didn't quite have 1,000. So yeah, interesting game so far. Interesting game, people. Still think it looks epic. Don't care that thing's died. Yay! So Phil is trying to do the same thing. He's trying to get across. So it's a 5. He hasn't lost a model.
No, it wasn't cocked out.
I wouldn't have said that was cocked. So he's safe. He's still good. He's still good, people. Okay, so this guy previously took 6 wounds. He's going to have a pop as well. So needing 4, 5s or 6s. 1 damage again. So you've taken a big old 2 damage in total. Also, over here, Phil shot through the doorway, critting that guy, and doing 4 damage, which is pretty big. It's pretty big. So far I've done 2 damage to Phil's army, and he's done loads. So we've got there, there, and there for the damage so far. Right, so Phil's moved on there. So remember, a 1 will destroy that. Hey, he's still good. He's just showing off now.
It's all
good. It's all good.
Then move. Oh, I've got 7-inch range. That's a pain.
Wait, so Phil can't use his 7-inch range because obviously the twist at the time.
Actually, he hasn't. So he will go that way as well. To there.
Okay, so a bit of an eventful turn 2. Definitely better than turn 1. So a bridge has collapsed. We've lost my leader, my expensive model. Some damage went on here. To Phil's, a lot went on to mine. Phil's got some pretty good positions. So one tip I will suggest, if you want to play Catacombs, amazing board, but these are 4 inches wide, so my characters cannot jump these. Phil's can, because he's 5 inches, so maybe play an army that's speed 5 or more. And this guy, I realised as soon as the bridge was out, he's basically had to move back into the same position, because I've now got 2 turns to get all the way back there. It's turn 3 now. Actually, it's 3. Yeah, effectively, I've got a few turns to get these guys all the way over to here to try to pick that up. Don't think I can make it because none of my models are actually fast enough to jump this gap, and the bridge is out. So I've got to go all the way around to try to claim that, because it's the band with the most piles of loot, basically. So there's 1 there, which Phil's covering quite nicely, and 1 over there. So it's probably Phil's game, and I am quite a few models down. So we'll roll dice for turn 3. Right, turn 3 dice rolling. So I've got 2 doubles and 3 singles. Phil has used his wild dice to make a quad, because he's got a pretty tasty ability. A double and a single. So I definitely got the first turn. Yeah, we'll see what combat's like over here. So this guy has an additional attack because he's within 1 inch of this. What is the toughness of that cretin there?
He's toughness 3.
Toughness 3, okay.
How
So
do you know he's from Crete?
so I'm going to use a double for Onslaught. So that's one of the generics, which adds 1 to your attacks. And I already have +1 attack. Anyway, so I'm a big old, that's right, 4 attacks. So 4 dice, and I'm looking for 3s or more, because I'm slightly stronger. Actually, no, I'm only strength 3. So 4s or more. Nearly cheated there. Okay, so that's pretty painful for myself. Only a massive 2 damage there. And I'm going to do the same trick again, but this time around it's only 3 dice for my second activation. So trying to get some criticals off would be nice. Okay, that's better, that's better. So that is 2 damage, because it's 1 damage piece, and a 3 damage. So in total, that is 5 damage.
Another 5 plus the 2, 4, that's 7.
7 in total, Sam. And they've got 8 wounds?
Yeah.
Not killed him, but that's my activation done with this guy. Okay, Phil said this is worth videoing, so you know that's going to be painful.
So I'm now going to use the Shroud Queen's quad ability, Ensnaring Darkness, which is allocate a number of damage points equal to the value of this ability to all visible enemy fighters within 3 inches. It's a quad, and I have a quad 6.
So that means I automatically take 6 points of damage, which kills these 2 guys outright without him rolling anything.
Anything at all.
And do you take any damage?
I could have took 3 damage to myself if I wanted everything within 6 inches.
Well, there's no point in doing that.
Because there's nothing here.
No. So, yeah, Phil's instantly just killed 2 guys, doing 6 points of damage each to them. So one had 2 wounds left, and one had 4 wounds left. So that was pretty impressive.
So he's now going to move. He can move.
You mean she?
She. 6 inches to the edge.
Yes.
And then she will jump.
So you've done 3 activations, yeah?
Well, that was a quad. That wasn't an activation.
Okay. Okay, cool.
That's
yep.
And
then she can get way over there.
Jump way over there, taking potential impact damage.
Okay.
Takes actually 3 damage.
Okay, so she takes 3 damage.
Let me just check it is 3 damage. On a 6, allocate 3 damage points to that fighter.
She has taken a couple wounds so far, but by the time my 4-inch guy trundles along, she'll be long gone. So Phil's probably got 3 piles of cash at the end of turn 5, I would imagine.
That was
covering that quite well.
A brutal ability.
And covering that one quite well, and definitely got that one. So with my 3 models left, yeah, should be interesting. Forgetting the mission, because it's not going to happen, I just want to kill some stuff. He's walked up and he's going to have a bit of a punt. So he's going to use the last double I have, which is imbued with dark power. So basically means you use the number on the dice that you've got to add to your strength. So I'm technically strength 8. So wounding Phil on 2s, I believe. So I've got 3 attacks. Making me wound on 3s, because you can never get better than 3s. So I've got 3 dice. I'm wounding on 3s. Maybe he's got 1 wound left. And thankfully, with my amazing dice rolls, people, I've killed 1 model. Huzzah! And that's the activations done for that guy. And I bet that's probably the last activation he ever makes in life.
I will actually make an onslaught.
So Phil's making an onslaught with that guy with his crossbows. So with his onslaught, he's adding 1 extra attack activation, because that's the standard universal abilities. Somehow he gets 2 shots each with his crossbows. That's 4 attacks each. Now it's 5 attacks in total. Gatling crossbows.
This is 5 attacks on the first action.
On the first action, yes, and there's going to be another 4 in a minute, presumably.
Wanting, it's only strength 3, so I'm wanting 5s and 6s.
But you've got 2 5s, that's
which
2
is
wounds.
1 damage each.
Yeah.
And then I will do that.
So that's that guy over there, by the way, shooting.
That one.
Yep.
Do that again.
It's pretty tasty.
And
it's a crit, 2 crits.
3, that's 7.
7 damage, right, from that Gatling crossbow. That guy there has done 7 damage on top of the 2 he's already done. That guy is toast. He is gone.
Good crit roll in there.
That's insanely good. We've always said before with this game, anybody can do some serious damage on a crit. So you can have a nobody and they can just rail. I did 9 damage once with Bloodletter, which I thought was insane. So that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. So Phil's measured. He's 4 inches away from Whipmaster. Right.
Range of 4, 3 attacks. Strength 4. So
I am 4 as
so
well.
4s.
4 and 4's 4s.
That is 2 damage each. That's 4 damage.
That's very nice. So the first attack does 4 damage on that guy.
And then the second attack, another 2 damage.
So 6 damage in total. So he's left with 4 wounds. So there's a Warlock.
The Warlock
just over
there.
here. I can see that guy through the doorway.
Range of 3 to 7. We can only see 6, but it's within 6.
Thankfully, he's within 6. So
Only has 2 attacks. Strength 3.
Okay, so 5.
5s and 6s.
Of course, it's a crit.
That's a crit.
Of course, it's a crit.
It's 4 damage.
So, yeah, dead outright. Phil and his crits, man.
I'm throwing the best crits I've
So I've got
ever
1
thrown.
model left alive, and it's turn 3. And we've got 2 more turns to go, but I can guarantee he will be nowhere near that thing when it's gone. Okay, so the end of turn 3, so they've definitely got that objective quite nicely. Pile of loot over here is still secure. No models left alive at all over here, so I definitely can't get that or that. So Phil's already won the game, which was predicted. And it turns out there is a wall there, so Phil, that black line, couldn't jump through. But he did have enough movement to get over here and jump over to there, because there is no wall section. So that's still valid. I'm saving my wild dice because I can only use 1 action special ability anyway, because I've only got 1 model left alive. Phil has turned his into a quad and a double. So because I get to go first, because I've got 3 singles, my action is very simple. Move twice, block the doorway, because the only other way they can get in is to jump over to here. So it will save me some time. I'll get 1 pile of cash this game, but the idea is to get more than your opponent. And with only 1 model, I don't think I can get 2 piles of cash. And we have a bit of combat going on here. So Phil's jumped over, took 1 damage, so skidded on her knees. And now she's going to whip me, and I'm going to enjoy it. I mean, I'm not going to enjoy it. So once again, Phil's probably going to crit.
3 attacks. Actually,
And a big old toughness 5. 6 on that guy, actually.
So strength 4, so it's going to be 5s and 6s.
Yep.
Nothing.
Wow. Okay, so far.
That's her done.
Okay. So far, 1 attack's gone
So
in.
I might as well now do the Shroud Queen, who will...
Does have a quad as well.
Yes, I will.
Do you want to do that nasty quad ability? It's only 1 damage though, isn't it?
The fighter makes a bonus move action. No, I'll do this quad, Rampage.
Ooh, okay, so Phil is using the universal quad, which is a Rampage. This fighter makes a bonus move action, and they can make bonus attack action, which is pretty good.
That's going to be a bonus, that's the bonus move.
Okay, and then you're just going to attack for days.
Now I'm going to attack, but not with my ranged weapon, with my short weapon. 4 attacks, strength 4.
Okay.
So wanting 5 still.
Okay.
There we go.
There's 2 5s in the crit.
The crit on this attack is 5 damage. So
Whoa.
That's 5, 2 and 2, so that's 9 damage.
9 damage. So these guys do have 15 when they're not falling into chasms and things like that.
That's 9 damage.
So 9 so far,
So
but
that's the bonus.
But that's
attack
the
if you
bonus.
want.
So
Now, the
actual
first action
attacks.
attack, that's another 2.
So that's 11. So you got
11.
4 more wounds left to go,
The
sir.
final
4 more
one,
wounds left to go.
nothing.
Okay. That was very, very impressive. Very impressive. And painful. Okay, end of turn 3. Staying there, obviously. Staying over there and shimmying around trying to flank me with some magic. So I've basically... I know I can't win the game, but we're just going to carry on playing. It is just fun and it's quick. So Stay there, get a few attacks in, I suppose, because the second I move, try to get the treasure in turn 4, they can all just pile on me. So I'm going to try to bottleneck and pink some people off, but we've got to roll our dice. Okay, so even if I use both my wild dice, because I still have 2, Phil has got 6 singles. So Phil, that's the only chance he could actually go first, has actually managed to do it. So effectively he's rolled a crit on who's going first. So presumably there's going to be some attack going. So I'll leave the camera going.
I will straight into the Shroud Queen. 4 attacks.
So 5s and 6s.
5s and 6s.
Okay, and he only needs 1 crit, and that's
5 damage.
It's game over, people. It is game over.
Oystered.
So, I think there was only 1 attack in this game that Phil didn't crit in. So that is game over. So every model has been killed. A third was destroyed before the game started, and another third was destroyed by a bridge collapsing. Very, very epic game. I do like that. We carried on playing purely because we love the board and we just think this game is so fun. And who am I to take away Phil's attacks? That just would not be sporting. It is fantastic.
Lovely game. I've never thrown so many crits in one single game.
Don't listen. But yeah, that I watched Seventh Son recently. I don't know if you've ever seen it. That just reminds me of the film in itself. It's wicked. So cool for D&D. Great grids. So yeah, buy it and tell your partner you're technically buying 2 games, Catacombs and the fact that you've bought a board for D&D. It's money well spent. And then you can blame me for it. Ideal guys, thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like button. And if you haven't done already, please subscribe.